Hello, Jodie here, and I'm here with M2 from Swivl again. So I've been testing out M2 and trying out some of the functionality, particularly with a view to thinking how it can be used in UK schools and colleges. So I've done another video, and this is the second video of 3. The first video is looking at how M2 can be used in the classroom to help you as a teaching aid, to be there to help you with its AI functionalities, and also how it can help you to reflect from a professional development point of view on your lessons and share them with mentors, peer-to-peer coaching, best practice lessons and so on. But this video I want to focus on how M2 can be used with children, all students at any level. And the fantastic thing is I've been assured by the team from Swivl, and I have tested it a little bit and not fully extensively, but if you ask M2 anything that's not education related at all, it will say, I'm not here to answer that. This is, that's not educational, essentially. So it is really focused on education. They have built it for schools and for children in mind. Children don't have to have the physical M2. They can use that in the classroom, and I imagine it being used in the classroom. But you can also log in via the app and the online website version. So you can set tasks on M2 that they then complete elsewhere, or you can hand them M2. And I imagine, you get to the activity part of a lesson and one group or child gets to go and work with M2 to do a task, which you can then see on the M2. So here you've got already a library of possible tasks that you can just assign to children. You can assign to individuals in your class, or to the whole class, or to individual groups. So there are a load of pre-built ones. They're based on American grades, but I'm sure once this is rolled out more in the UK, that will probably change into having some UK version. But also, if you get this subscription for your school, you're going to be loading it with your own curriculum anyway, so it will adapt. But there's loads of pre-built ones. Some of these are professional development ones for teachers, and other ones are tasks for children, so to work on certain subjects, so a spelling task or using adjectives or whatever. But you can also custom make your own. And the fantastic thing about this is that they can use the AI capabilities while they're doing the task. So they can ask M2 questions, they can ask M2 the kind of questions you might ask to any other kind of AI, but it's been locked down to be all educational answers. So they have to be asking something that is education related, and it will only give them age appropriate answers. But you can also set it up with the objective for the lessons. You can add how you want them to reflect. So a big part of the M2 philosophy and the Swivl philosophy, which is how Swivl started with the Swivl robot, is all about reflecting on your learning or your teaching. So for the children, it's all about reflecting on their learning and how they've done and how they're feeling around their learning. So the learning itself, but also, how they were motivated. And it gives you a little flag. It gives you weather signs. So when children have reflected, you can see on the teacher dashboard whether they're, sunny or a bit cloudy. And so it can give you a little flag up of how the children are feeling. It will also give you an email alert if they say anything to M2 that has certain keywords in that would cause a specific concern, but otherwise on the dashboard you can kind of get a general idea. So letting students check in the morning, for example, through M2 could give you an idea of how their day is going to be. If some children come in very cloudy and some come in very sunny, so it gives you a nice little idea on the dashboard of how that's going. But when I go through and set a task and assign, there are various different things I can do. So once I've set my objective, I can then create a workspace, and in the workspace I can create various steps, and then what it will create is a learning path through the screens of the task that you've created. So it will get them to do the first bit, then the next step, then the next step, then the next step. So you can set up a task that guides them all the way through without you needing to be there, because M2 will give them the instructions, tell them what to do, and record what they're doing. So there are various different ways to record. You can actually use it like a whiteboard. So you can set it up with a whiteboard and ask them to draw or write or, team create something as a group. And then you will get a snapshot of that whiteboard as part of when you get to see it on the dashboard. You can get them to do little recharge bits and reflection bits where it will guide them through breathing exercises. So you can use it as part of a kind of a mindfulness, or just an approach to ensuring that kind of well-being stuff is built into the tasks as well. So you can set it up for them to type things, to record things, to write things on the whiteboard, to make a video, but also to do their own personal reflections, breathing exercises and things like that. So there's loads of different options. You can also add links. So if you want them to watch a video that you found on YouTube, you can add a link to the YouTube video, and that will then play them the video and then go on to the task. So there are loads of different ways you can build a really structured lesson. And as I say, they don't have to have the M2 hardware with them to complete it. You can set all that up either yourself via M2 or on the app yourself or on the website version. And then they can log in from any of those devices and complete the tasks that way. So they don't have to be doing it on the M2 hardware, because obviously you're not going to have one of these per child usually. It'd be a bit cost prohibitive at that level, but it's a great thing to have in the classroom for using for teaching, as we saw in video 1. Then you can also use that software capability and the M2 itself for individual or group learning and task setting. And they can use the AI capabilities as well. So you can just give them M2 for a bit as a task where they can go and ask the AI, knowing that you've got them in this lockdown educational environment to do that. So that's my second video of 3, talking about how M2 can be used directly with children. Video 3, I'm going to talk about the real personalisation and reflection elements of this a bit more. Thank you.